Hi. Okay, guys, it's Fairytale Friday. Hey, Lindsay. It's Fairytale Friday, and I wrote this week. I wrote my post. I wrote the post this week on Society of Moss and Lace, and I was gonna have Magnolia read it, but she can't make it today, so I have to read my own writing on Periscope, which is quite kind of scary, actually. So be nice. I hope you like it. I'm just gonna start reading, and I think I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'm gonna hit the save video. I've never tried that before, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's see. In this, the name of this one is Juniper's Journal, Wandering Feet, A Troubled Heart, and Tea with a Groundhog. Do you want to see pictures? I'll show you pictures this time too. Okay. It starts out with pictures. There we go. Oh, the mosquitoes are so bad right now. Okay, there's some forest pictures of Okay, I find myself changing since my return to the forest, from the short time I've spent amongst the purblind. Small creases around my mouth and eyes appear when I catch a glimpse of myself in the looking glass. It seems I have aged in a decade. I'm sorry. It seems I have aged a decade in the days I was gone from our enchanted home. There's more pictures. Though I welcome becoming a crone, I do not wish it upon myself prematurely. In quiet parts of the day, I remember my trek to the seed festival, the troll attack, and the fever that followed, and that is how I've explained this mysterious, accelerated aging to myself. I have also noticed a quivering in my chest, and I have taken to solitary walks along the edge of Santushka as consolation. It is as if I'm being called out of the forest by an inaudible pleading, and many moments since midsummer has been spent listening to the wind and hoping it will tell me my own heart. This wanderlust I have recently acquired is both exhilarating and terrifying. I can't help but wonder if this is the inner state of all purblinds, the busyness, the maddening, tumbling and grasping and scrambling to achieve obscure, disconnected, self-imposed prisons of sameness and convenience. In Santushka, we are birthed and rooted into an unbroken circle of giving and receiving. When rain falls, we drink. When fruits ripen on the trees, we feast. Even when our harvests are meager, we take joy in experiencing the lack, as it allows us to consider our bounties ever more the precious when we have it. My air conditioner just kicked on, sorry. There's more pictures, but we'll keep going. It was during one of my recent pensive ramblings that I found myself near an abandoned tumble-down shack, and from underneath it emerged Seraphina the groundhog. "Oh, it's the beautiful Juniper Gin Fairy come to visit me," she cooed in her sugary voice. "I just knew I'd be having a visitor today, which is why I just dusted the entirety of my large, beautiful mansion. Once in a while, a groundhog will come across a house that some other man built and claim it as the fruit of their own labors. As one such groundhog, Seraphina made sure to work her home into any conversation in which she found herself. Juniper, please come inside for some tea. I have just put the kettle on." She preened her coarse, silvery brown fur. A visit with Seraphina always proved to be disorienting. She would sweetly offer tea and treats and laud their refined tastefulness, only to serve up sugary pond water and half-eaten dried lichen chips with her stubby little fingers. I have to show you this picture. Ugh, gross. Come and sit here in the kitchen. The woodwork is original, you know. Come and sit, and you'll tell me all that is weighing on you, my dear. She ushered me inside her mildewing manner. No matter the vocal content that drizzled out of Seraphina's mouth, she is always sure to deliver it with acute sweetness. It is, of course, soothing at the onset, but over the years I've learned that this is how Seraphina lulls one into spilling out private thoughts so that she may regurgitate them later when she has the audience of anyone who will listen. I don't mean to burden you with my troubles, Seraphina. I'm just out walking to clear my head. You guys see Seraphina in her manner? As soon as I said it, I saw her square head pick up. "Heavy thoughts troubling your mind, Juniper?" she said in her lilting, sing-song way. And this is the manner in which Seraphina prodded and poked me with sugar-coated barbs until I began to indulge her a little and confess, "Magnolia has fallen in love with a man named Ironroot," I blurted. An awful sinking feeling started inside me. I was ashamed of using my dear friend's budding romance to deflect from Seraphina's self-serving inquiries, but Fae are nothing if not polite when invited for tea. I knew not to touch on my true distraction, the warning from Queen Titania at midsummer, and my unresolved hope for a world in which Purblind and Fairy were one people again, for fear of her saccharine criticisms when my heart is so very tender and unsettled. Thankfully, she took the bait, and I sat and listened while Seraphina speculated on the breeding and background of Ironroot and the foolhardiness of Magnolia's trust for him. The more she belched sugary disapproval, the more sour it turned in my ears, until at last I feigned illness and excused myself from the groundhog's hovel. Breathing the wild, open air again, I felt myself steady in my convictions, rooting deeper inside until the steadiness overcame my heart. I think that it is always the lesson learned when one is blessed to take in groundhog medicine. Digging deeper in the dirt of my emotions, I question Titania's urgency to let purblind fares alone. The Stillwater way is to reject segregation. We are interconnected, and though we may not see it right away, we could share with purblind more than we imagine. As I walked the path back to the cottages, I let my feet carry me and let those parts of me that are older than the mountains, older than the ocean, older than the stars and the sky, overcome the worry and remind my heart of an infinite plan. As the sun slipped low between the trees, I felt my uneasiness drain away and trail behind on the path. And there's a song here, but I'll let you guys listen to it later. Later that evening, over cozy bowls of blue moon mush, I confessed to Magnolia the details of my encounter with Seraphina the groundhog earlier that day. "That Biddy," Mags threw back her head and laughed. "You remember what Mama Tasha always said, right?" she asked and slurped another spoonful of pudding. "Groundhogs will gossip," I chuckled. "You let Seraphina get to you only because you think others actually listen to her, and really the only one who gives her the time of day is you, Junie. Some people are miserable because they have had bad things happen to them. Then there are folks like Miss Seraphina who are miserable because they don't let anything happen to them at all. Take a cue from the rest of the forest and let her be with her pond slosh tea." Magnolia's contagious laughter roared and her cheeks glowed from the pudding and the mead. It wasn't long before my own guffaw joined her, and then giggling from the brownies, house elves, teacup fairies, then yuckings from the doves in the rafters until the entire cottage dissolved into fits of laughter. Suddenly there came a loud pounding at the door that imposed a dark and immediate silence. Magnolia jumped up so fast her bowl of mush fell to the floor and rolled under the table. It was like she was in a wide-eyed trance, knowing before the rest of us did who was on the other side of the door. She turned the knob, and there stood Ironroot, his face as pale as the moon, his white-ringed eyes glowing, his mouth gaping open so as to deliver news of severe importance. His eyes searched the candlelit room, and before they could fall on me, I slipped out the back door of the cottage to allow the lovers a private exchange. And guess what, guys? There's a recipe for Blue Moon mush underneath. So, thank you for listening. And I thought maybe if you guys wanted, I could try and do like a little cooking show. And we could make mush together in my kitchen, maybe tomorrow. What do you guys think? Would you be up for that? I see some hearts. Yes, okay. Alright, well, I hope the rest of you have just a wonderful day. I didn't do the greatest job reading this, so feel free to go back to societyofmossandlace.com and catch up on all the past posts and reread this one, because I think I messed up a couple parts, but anyway. Thank you so much for watching me, and I'm gonna try and post this on YouTube now, so wish me luck. Have a great day. I love you guys. Bye. Bye. Ooh. Stop broadcast. Bye.